Hi, this is Queen's Bounder, where I do predictions of the future. If you got a question for me, make sure you put it in the comments below. Just a reminder, we have lives here on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. Central and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Central. So make sure you mark it down on your calendar so you don't miss out. Let's do the card of the day. As we're waiting for people to join us, we got a couple people already. Now, the card, this is the message from Universe to us for today. It is the Self-Reliance card. Very nice card. Okay. So just being self-reliant out there, not worrying about what the government will do for you and getting out of that mindset of having everybody else do everything for you. Trying to be more and more capable of yourself, because the government always drops the ball. So, okay, moving forward. What do we got on the docket for today? Now, Dark on the Discord channel asked the question about the power outs that are happening in the United States, I guess. I watched a brief video on the news, and he asked me to put it into the show today and what I thought of it. And it's to do with Russian hacking of the power grid and all that sort of thing. Now, if their power grid is on the internet where everybody can hack into it, it's probably not a good system. You'd think it'd be more secure, right? Which was my first thought. Why would you have all of your vulnerable things like power grid where everybody can come to it through the internet? Not too bright. But let's throw some cards down. Now, the other thing I was thinking about when I was looking at that particular situation that's going on in the States, it's more of a fear-mongering thing than anything. I don't think the Russians have anything to do with the power outs, if there is any power outs there. It's another excuse to keep you in fear. And then we've talked about this many times on the show, where the elites, the leaders, okay, need to keep you in fear always, because it just makes you better sheep. I'm trying to think of a nice word. They create the problems in the first place, okay, so that you ask them for the help to protect us from them. And that's an ongoing thing. It's been going on forever, never again. It's kind of like that COVID thing. I guess we can talk about that now, where they scared the bejeebies out of you. And it's something that they created in the first place, so that you think that you need them to protect you from them. So, yeah, that was my first thought when I was watching that little news thing that Dark put on the Ask Andre thing. I think it's gone now for whatever reason. I think Dark has been playing around in the Discord channel a little bit. Couldn't find it again. So, yeah, that was my first impression, that it's just a fear-mongering thing, because nobody's scared of, well, the majority of people aren't scared of COVID anymore. So they need something new to distract you from all the banking situation that's going on. And so they can slip other things in there, and that they can grab more power from you overall. Every time there's a thing of fear, it allows them to grab more power from the people. Okay? It's all designed that way. Okay? that was my thoughts when I first saw that. The problem is going to be resolved. Okay, very very soon. It's going to be something that's they're going to throw out there, see if anyone bites onto it. If it doesn't, they'll move on to the next thing. Maybe it's more balloons from China or something that keep everybody's attention for the next little while as we go through the banking crisis, as we go through all the other financial situations that we have going on with will they raise the debt ceiling? And of course, they all went on holiday just before the deadline. They've already figured this out. They're going to raise it again because they cannot default on the American dollar. Okay, so it's smoke and mirrors all the time. So this is basically not living in fear and understanding that whenever the newscaster is saying something, it's probably a bunch of bullshit. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Okay, Neo. Somebody was asking a question about Neo, and I think they're here right now. And Sharon, Chinese cryptocurrency, and there's a whole bunch of cryptocurrencies that attach to that, and they all do different jobs on working with the Neo blockchain and all that sort of thing. Is it going to have this resurgence? What is going to be happening with Neo? Now that China's flip-flopped, I posted a video on the Discord channel about them flip-flop. It's always been there. They're just making it more public that now you can mine now and actually do trading with cryptocurrency, bringing the Chinese market back into the cryptocurrencies in a bigger way, at least announcing it. Anyways, I think it's going to do rather well once more and more of that market opens up. So if you're sitting on some Neo, I think I have a little bit somewhere. I keep sitting on it. Okay, I think it's going to do very very well because of the market that it supports, and it has some pretty nifty things going on with it in the long run. It has a lot of, I forget what the coin is or the blockchain is, to record everything for shipping and produce and all that sort of thing. Very robust blockchain and all the cryptocurrencies that work alongside of it. I think it's going to be going up in the next little while in a major way, as well as many of the other cryptocurrencies very, very soon, because there's some things going to be happening in the cryptocurrency world and the financial world. Okay. That's going to be making Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies start to pop up again. I think we're going to have a little bit of that dive still, but nothing major. Nothing where you're running around with your hair on fire. Okay, so hopefully that answers any questions about Neo. Let your light shine through. I was thinking of titles for the YouTube videos, and I was thinking of that collective soul song. If you're a child of the '80s, let your light shine through. Now, in this wonderful world that we're living in, we always forget to allow ourselves to be everything that we need to be, and allowing that energy flow through us and to become an agent of light. Okay, so learning to be what's that purple? $50 from dark.
Yeah.
Thank you. Or 50 pounds. Thank you for that. Um, that showing your light and not being darkened so much by all this darkness that's around us all the time. It's designed that way to keep you in the dark and to keep you in fear and never achieving the things that we need to do to bring on the the awakening, the new awakening. Where it's going to happen with us or without us, but it's better to stay in the light so we can go along with it. It's kind of everybody talks about the Great Awakening, and if you really read the how it's going to happen, it's where everybody's going to kind of blink out of existence from your perspective because they've gone to a different dimension. Okay, and a lot of other people are going to be left behind. This is why we want to stay in the light and use that white light through us and growing with that and not being tied down with the darkness as much as we can. Okay, so make sure that everything that you do, start today, start using white light on everything. Okay, yourself. Before the show, I was meditating, preparing for the show, surrounding myself with the white light, surrounding all of you that are going to be viewing the show today with white light, the wife, the house, everything. Just get into the habit of doing that, and you'll start to notice some big differences in your life. Okay, so that was that. Hopefully that's a great lesson. What's that? Nothing? Okay. Now for the Sunday show, and the guys did really well. After I brought them down again, we did some breathing, and we had this was the target from last Sunday's show. It was a bee on a yellow flower, and in the beginning it was a little all over the place, but I think with that breathing and brought everything down and saying the first thing that came to mind. That is the trick. Don't overthink it. Just the first thing that comes out of your mouth or from you, that is the most correct. When you start overthinking things, that's when you start to get it wrong. Okay? For this Sunday, and if you're so inclined to do your homework, it's R007551 is the target number for this Sunday at 11:15 after the main show. So there's that for this Sunday. Okay, so make sure you get that homework done, meditate on it, surround it with white light, and prepare yourself. Shall we go through the Discord? Yes. Just let me get a link here on the other page. There we go. Are you ready? It's going into the chat. Make sure you grab it. There we go. And I'll do that a little later on in case you missed this first one. Okay, so I guess it's time for the chat. Got any good questions? There's always good questions. Hi, Andre. No more internal flights in France, Canada, and others soon. Maybe. I don't know why I haven't been keeping up with all the silly news as of late. Yeah, I'm just reading Super Whittle Guy. He kept going on about weed Weed fields. Maybe there's weed fields by the bee.
Well,
You never know.
dandelions are weeds, aren't they?
Yeah. You're thinking of the smokable stuff. Oh. So Canada and others, well, France is going through the entire situation where they're, what's the nicest way of saying this? Showing their displeasure with their government. That's one way of saying it, a nice way. Here in Canada and others soon, I don't think that's going to be a thing as of yet. We're not, on Parliament Hill or anything like that here. Okay. I think we're going to have another truckers convoy. Hopefully they do it in the summertime when it's warm. My goodness. But it did unleash a whole lot of things throughout the world. And it really did a huge number to the elite. And I think this whole thing in France is more of they don't know what else to do. They don't want to do the right thing. So they're just going to go around have a tantrum and do all kinds of stuff instead of doing the right thing, right? Here in Canada, I don't think that's going to be a thing anytime soon. The other parts of the world, they're going to be going through some other situations. May come to the situation that you don't have any money to go flying anyways. That's very evident. Where your money that you make at work is not going to be amounting to much, as we're noticing as you're going to the supermarket and you're going shopping, all that sort of thing, and your grocery basket's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Something that I picked up on about 2 years ago that was going to happen. But I think it's going to be okay. The one airline is, I think, still doing their strike or something here in Canada. But I think that's going to be resolved very, very soon. Okay. And it's going to be a great changer for many of the other countries. We're going to start to shape the world that we want to live in from that big moment on. Okay. And using our inner power, okay, to start those particular changes. Remember, we're the ones who are going to be changing our own reality through focus, right? Instead of focusing on what we don't want, make sure you focus on the things that you do want, using that energy, light energy, right? Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. What else we got?
I don't know if you want to do this.
Okay. A flame reading. Well, we just did Neo. Anything else that he wants?
Who wants to know if China's coming for you?
What is the Chinese product? Okay. Okay, so there we go. That's what it looks like for today. It's a dog. You see a dog? How about you guys?
You?
Not yet. I might if I'm persuaded to see a dog in there, but what would a dog be? Man's best friend.
Looks like
A goat.
Doge, like Doge dog.
A doge dog.
Kind of.
Well, what else do you pick up? I'm bugging my wife. She can do it.
He's just happy. He's just happy.
Happy dog.
He's very happy. Excited.
Excited. So the things that I'm picking up from this is that, well, the dog would be man's best friend, and it's going to be turning out just fine. I think China is going to be changing slightly to the better, because things happen there, and they need people and all that sort of thing. But with Neo, I think they're going to be leaving it alone and actually incorporating it into the whole system that they have in China. You have to remember, most Chinese people in China don't have actual bank accounts. They do everything on their phone. Okay. It's very prevalent there. And once they put that into play, they could control the narrative. And I think Neo is going to be part of that whole particular system. Okay. That's what it was created in the first place by the Chinese. Okay. But it's going to do very, very well. I do see it working throughout all that particular part of the world. Okay. Russia, China, maybe some of the BRICS nations are going to be part of that as well. I see some lips. What's up here? See it? Lower lip. Everything's opposite. So there's the top of the lip.
Looks like a guy holding up a bunch of stuff.
Or a guy holding up the world, like Atlas. So, guy holding up the planet. I think it's going to be one of the what would you call it? The one of those things that's going to be holding up that part of the market for that part of the world. Okay, so it's going to be holding a lot of weight for that part of the world. A chipmunk. So they're going to be storing a lot of things away with this particular blockchain, and going to be keeping everything labeled and structured and all that through this blockchain. And it's going to be a very huge thing when it does come out. Like I said in the previous one, make sure that if you got any Neo, hang on to it. I think it's going to be really going up in a big way. Looks like they figured out everything for it to work. I think it was kind of ontology. That's the other one. That's the other part of the Neo blockchain. I think they figured out all the things that they need to figure out to have this run fairly smoothly. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out. There you go. What else we got today? Hey, Andre, do you see drought here in the U.S. for the rest of 2023? It's been pretty dry lately here on the upper East Coast. Yeah, I do see parts of the United States not having enough water. Here in Winnipeg, we have quite a bit of, it just rained pretty heavily as I was coming home from work. So I got a little bit wet, but I think there is going to be a bit of a dry spell in the United States. but I think the lower part is going to be just fine. It's going to be like, if you look at the American map, it's going to be kind of like this. That's okay. There's going to be a little spot on the left-hand side of the map. That's going to be a little bit dry. And a little bit in the east as well. So prepare for that. Make sure you have some spare water bottles, that sort of thing, just in case. I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit dry for this summer for you. Okay? Hopefully that helps you out. Hello, YouTube not playing fair? I don't know. Huh? Yeah, it's been doing okay. Even now they're trying to implement the C11 bill here in Canada, where they're trying to monitor everything here, where the programming here on YouTube will be more geared to Canadians. That's what they say, right? Canadian content for Canadians. I haven't seen much of that yet, and it really messes with YouTube's business model. So it's going to be quite a while until that C11 is really put into full force. So yeah, they're playing fair. I have no real problems with it. Thank you for that. Lina finances pumping. Where do you see the high on this pump? As I want to sell and buy the dip again. Price is currently 0.024. I see 0.028, which was the first thing that came to mind. And now they're showing me this. So it's going to be up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So there could be many instances where you got to be able to trade that in a very short span of time in the next week or so. Okay, so be prepared for that in the next little while. And I think that's pretty much regular for most of the cryptocurrencies at this moment in time. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out, Dark. Will Dogecoin hit 8 cents before June? Crypto bull. Back cards, please. What is it now? I think it was a bit of a while since I've looked. I have a bunch of Doge. Had it when it wasn't anything. So here's that. Yeah, whatever. It's Doge. Yay.
7.2.
It's 7.2.
So about it.
Okay. That's American price. Okay. Well, for Bob, he has to trust his intuition. It's going to be going back up in the next little while, as many of the other cryptocurrencies are going to be going along with that. There hasn't been anything major that's happening with the Doge blockchain for quite some time. But yeah, trust your instincts. They are right on track. They are going to be going up to that 8 cents in the next little while. Okay. And it's going to be going up with the rest of the cryptocurrencies in the next little while. Okay. So hopefully that helps you out, Bob. You looked into Neo. Can you look into ontology? Which is kind of that family of blockchains that kind of connects with the Neo I believe. It's been a while since I've looked at it. It's the cards are saying that they're going to be making new friends. So I think they're going to be bringing in new people to do the programming and all that sort of thing and doing the advertisements. There hasn't been any talk about it as of late. I think they're going to be starting to do something newsworthy for everybody, getting everybody excited. It's probably going to be launching again in a major way. There's going to be some big updates to the blockchain in the next little while. And then after it hits this certain point, it's going to kind of just bounce around in I guess, a gutter for the next little while. But overall, I think it's going to be doing very, very well. And I think it's going to be spiking up pretty good in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. It's about identity. Yeah, something like that. There's a whole slew of them in that kind of run with Neo. Hi, during NDE. What's in? Oh, near-death experience. A lady says she saw God as a man and talked to her. All positive. At no time did they DJI? Yeah, a lot of people have had that experience. Our friend who's sometimes here from Facebook, he's had a few near death experiences himself. Through that, he has a very bad memory, but he's super psychic, and he'll give messages to everybody, and then he'll forget about them right after. So it's what did you just say? I can't remember. Damn. But yeah, it does have that effect on many people. In the Discord, I listed on the remote viewing. There's a gentleman there who started the remote viewing for the U.S. government. He's had many near-death experiences. I think there's 2 or 3 that he had, and the more times that he almost died, he got more and more psychic as a result. So I do encourage you to go to the Discord and actually look him up. He's in the remote viewing section. So very cool. I don't think I've had a near-death experience yet, so at least not that I know of. What else we got? Hi, Andre. How is my love life looking this year? Thank you. I see many friendships around you. Friendships that could be turned into it's very fun. One of the first card that came up was romantic partner. Interesting card to come up. Trust your instincts and stop. I know we get into this mode, and we all do. It is looking too hard for something. And this is what I tell our friend Marlon: stop looking so hard. And when you start looking and paying attention to other things, then it'll happen. Boom. when we start looking too hard or thinking about it so much, it blocks it from happening. So live your life, spend times with your friends. But I do see a new person around you that's going to be coming into your life, and they're going to be very special. Um, you're just saying a Tuesday, so it could be next Tuesday or Tuesday, a couple weeks from now. They just said Tuesday. They're showing that he may be a black gentleman. I don't know if that has any significance for you, but I do see that as the possibility, and something with the color blue surrounding him is going to be, or him or her, going to be very important overall. So hopefully that helps you out. Hi, Andre. How will June be for me? Just got this. It's going to be okay. They're just telling me. It's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass, but it's overall going to be okay. I think you're going to have to work through a whole bunch of things that you've been putting off over time. And because you haven't gotten to them, they're going to be more and more of a pain in the ass once you do get to them. So make sure you get into those things that you've been putting off. I do that too. You're not alone. That is the major thing that I see for June for you. I do see making a little bit more money on the side, maybe some new side business or some side money coming in your way. And it could be from past work. So expect that. And I think it's going to be rather good. Besides the pain in the ass. just do the things. Okay? Hopefully that helps out.
Sorry, I have to go through the chat.
Are they talking a lot? They're being social?
Yeah.
That's okay. Laundry's done. Yeah, me and the wife got a printer today. One of those, what do you call it? 3D printer things. Very, very cool. Maybe I can play with it tomorrow. The wife's playing with it now. But it's really cool. Anything?
Yeah, there is just this stupid. I have to look for a stupid question.
Oh, okay.
They're all mixed up.
Okay. Calm down. It's okay.
3 cards for Super Little Guy anyway.
3 cards for a super little guy.
Let me find the question. There you go.
Okay. Andre, big company meeting tomorrow, and I finally get to hear from our CEO. Awesome. Whom I still don't have access to. Well, maybe he knows you. No, I'm kidding. I really want to go over some ideas that will help us do our job. Go with your immediate manager and let them go through that with them, that chain of command thing. I know my CEO at my work, it's very rare that I get to see him, but the chain of command. It's great to have good questions about and answers and ideas. Just go through the chain of command. It just makes people more happy with you. Okay. Just do your immediate boss, and then they'll pass it on. If you grab the CEO, they don't normally like that. Okay. Just a word of advice. If you haven't worked in a business or work type thing like that, go for go up the ladder with your ideas and things. And that's pretty much what the cards are revealing. And you don't want to have the lesser bosses feel left out. It makes for good working relations all around. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out. Hello, Andre and Yvonne. I often hear XRP is working with banks into the future and Matic is working with big name companies in the future. What do you see for Cardano? Big contracts. Well, they're all working with big companies. They're all corporate coins, the ones that you pointed out. Many of the cryptocurrencies that are the big ones are with corporations. Good in one way, but also not good just because of that association sometimes, especially if it's the banking industry, because the banking industry is not too good of shape right now. XRP is going to be working with the banks, and that's pretty much where most of the CBDCs are going to be floating on. I think Cardano is going to be fine with the big contract thing. I don't think it's going to be beaten out Ethereum anytime soon, but it's going to be fulfilling much of the roles that Ethereum will not be able to do. It's going to be the lower tier stuff for the next little while. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out. Hi, Andre. We have a new mayor for Port Elizabeth. How is he going to turn out? Thanks. Well, he's a politician to begin with. And you know what I think of politicians. I think he's going to be doing many of the things that you're hoping for your society in a good way for the next 2 to 3 years' time. He's going to be bringing that music back, and there's going to be new opportunities there for everybody. He's going to be bringing better situations for everybody in your community. We're starting to see this around the world where everybody's swinging hard to the right. And I think, what country was that? Italy? I think it was Italy or one of those European nations, and they just had their election and it swung right to the right. And we're going to see more and more of this as we move along. I think we're going to be seeing Canada move the same direction as well. Okay, so doesn't mean it's perfect. It's just better than going too left, because when you go too left, you get into communism, right? So I think you're going to be just fine with this new guy. He's going to be bringing some good changes for you. Okay, hopefully that helps out. How is tax all going to work with the dollar going to dust? Well, it's going to be around. Dollar's still going to be around. It's just not going to have purchasing value as like it used to have. Taxes will still work the same. There's only two things that government's good at: collecting taxes and killing people. Everything else is questionable. So they'll still get their taxes no matter what. And if you're hiding it in your CBDCs, they'll get it there too. Okay? So hopefully that answers your question. There has been a huge performance about Russia, a Russian ship that came to South Africa, I think that is. Inside info, it just came in for repairs. Where will it end? I don't know. I guess when the ship gets fixed, it'll leave. I'll throw some cards then for that. Are they using it as fear mongering? I'm assuming. Oh, the Russians are here. Yeah, okay. Just don't go pissing them off. You'll be fine. I think the whole thing is, if it's in your news cycle, I think if it is, it's just a bunch of scare tactics. I think they're just there for what they say, getting the ship fixed and then moving on. I think you're going to be getting more ships from the Russian fleet into South Africa in the next little while, just because it's the closest port and all that sort of thing. And they don't have any ill will against anybody else, really. They're pretty much focused on the things that they're doing right now. Okay? So don't worry. It's going to be okay. Okay? Thank you. Hi, my wife's car needs a clutch. Is it a basic clutch or everything clutch-wise? Oh, the extent of the repair? I think it's going to be a smaller repair than what you thought. I think you're thinking that it's going to be more expensive than you can afford at the moment, but I think it's going to be just fine. And when it's done, I think it's going to be just peachy. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question. Hi, what do you think of astrology? Is bad for all cryptos invented from 2020 and on? I don't understand what he's asking. Are you saying that astrology, fortune telling has said that cryptos are all bad from 2020 and on? Most of them are corporate.
As in they go bye-bye, he says.
What's that?
As in they go bye-bye.
Oh, all cryptos. No. Many of the cryptocurrencies will go away. Okay, this is why I'm always urging you to buy the top coins. Okay, anything in the top 50, I think you're going to be just fine. Even in the top 100 coins that are there should be fine. Anything that just come out, and those ones I just leave alone because they usually have a very short lifespan. Okay, and if it's intended just to make the quick buck, okay, get into it, get in, get out, move on, buy some Bitcoin or any of the top 100 coins. Most of the coins after that point are probably going to be going away. Okay, so just focus on the Bitcoin and the top 50. And I think you'll be just fine. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question. No big deal. Yvonne Gerard, no big deal. Question. NDE?
Near-death experience.
Oh, never discusses why our world is so negative. But it's designed that way for us to learn lessons. That's the reason we come here. You need adversity to grow. Okay? If everything was perfect, okay, you would have nothing to rise above and become more than what you were. A tree, this is the analogy I'll use. The tree in the forest, I use my tripod. If it had no wind to push against it, the adversity, it would not know how to push back, right? And grow strong. If there were no wind to push against the tree would just be limp. Okay? Now think of the wind as adversity. Do we have adversity here? Yes. Is it pushing against you? Probably. Do you grow stronger from it and learn lessons? Yeah. That's why we have that here. And it is exactly what you think of it. Can be terrorizing and fearful and living in the fear and all that sort of thing. Or you can think of it differently. Okay? Instead of being a victim of everything, being the person that rises above all that. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question. I'm an okay teacher. Thank you, though. Hi, Andre. BTC 20K end of June. No. It's a short one. Everybody's, it's going to go down to 8,000. It's going to go down to 2. No. It'd be nice. You just buy some more. When it goes down, stop running around panicking and buy more. And once you buy more, it'll go back up. Sheesh. When it goes low, buy. When it goes up high, sell. That's all you really need to know. But I don't think it's going to be getting to that point by the end of June. I think it's actually going to start to go up after that period of time. Okay? And we can all make the difference by buying more Bitcoin. More demand, price goes up. Okay? Thank you for that. How many times can I learn to die differently?
Maybe he's just trying to be funny.
I think, yeah, well, there's the laugh out loud thing there.
Oh, there's no more questions.
Oh, there's no more questions. Probably from your past lives. You've probably died tons of different ways. Okay. When you become more spiritual, and like me and the wife we're part of the spiritualist church, you start to think differently about death. You start to think of it as not an end. It's the end of your present life here, but you live on in the other side, and then you can come back and bug the people that you left behind. Okay. And if you're attuned to the other side and you hear messages from them, you wish you can hang up on them because they sometimes. Okay. Death is not the end, just only a state of being. Okay. Because you're going to be coming back because you got your new contracts. Okay. Of all the things you're going to learn on the earth plane. That's why you come here, to learn things. And then once you learn all those, you go back over. Because remember, on the other side, there's no adversity. So, like I said in the past, nobody makes any great changes in their life, or populations make any great changes without adversity. Right? So, when we come back here, we become stronger. We get more knowledge. And then we bring that back up to the other side and eventually become a spirit guide. Okay. Everybody has their own spirit guides. Normally you have around 7. And you can be part of that very special brand of spirit helping people here on Earth. Okay. So hopefully that answers any questions about life and death. When moon tonight? June, July. And getting not the actual big moon. It's going to be a nice up. But as soon as we get closer and closer to the halving, then you're going to see some rocket fuel going on. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question. When doom? What doom?
Are you okay?
I'm okay. Never. Depends on how you look at it from a certain point of view. Quoting a movie. What else we got? It's from Star Wars, if you're wondering. Do you ever stop learning? No. I'm learning all the time, and my opinion about everything changes. There's some things that pretty much stay the same because they've been known to hold water or hold coffee. Everything else for me and the wife changes on a daily basis. Sometimes what you thought was real and correct may change once you have new information. So even in how to do readings has changed so much from when I began. Okay. In the beginning, it was you got to do this and you got to do that and blah, 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 blah. And the more teachers I had teaching me about how to do readings, it changed. Okay, until I met one great teacher. Her name's Kathy. She passed on not that long ago, and I haven't heard from her yet. But I'm thinking she'll talk to us soon. She goes, you know that tarot card book you're learning from? Throw it away. Use your instinct. Use your gut instinct. You know more. Use the colors. Use the pictures. All right? That's all you need to know. We overcomplicate everything. And that's once I learned to do that, everything else became very, very easy. And it can become easy for you too. Stop thinking so much and just start doing. And you're going to get to wherever you need to be instead of overcomplicating things. Right, super little guy? Okay. So anything else?
Nothing important.
Nothing important. Well, let's do the Discord thing again.
Oops. Yeah, you can do that. I'll be there in a second.
Copy. And we'll do the old paste. case you missed it the first time, hit the button, and there you go. Make sure you grab it while you can. It's also on our secondreadsbyonder.com site. If you like a personal reading with me, getting to my personal website, all the information is on there as well. If you like to get a healing from my wonderful wife, her thing is on there as well. Healing with Yvonne on the secondreadsbyonder.com. What else can we talk about? Affiliate packages are on there. If you should happen to purchase anything from our affiliate page, know that we make a little bit of money from that purchase. Just a disclaimer you got to do. And know that we're going to be back here on Thursday. And on the Saturday, we got the horoscope reading at 11:15. And on Sunday, there's the remote viewing on Sunday at 11:15. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the future. Bye-bye.